So I got my. You're going to see Sound of Freedom today,
Right. 3 p.m.
I'm going to see it Sunday morning. We're going to see it. So
Yeah. I can't wait to see it, man. Everybody's saying it's good. Tim Pool put up a review, said it was really good. He said like people were like crying and stuff. I'm really excited to see this. I'm thinking my wife is probably going to cry. I'm thinking she will.
Yeah. Well, the mainstream media has already launched their attacks on it. Yeah. The Guardian called it a QAnon adjacent film.
I saw something about that. I mean, it's about child trafficking. What's QAnon about that? We know that actually happens in South America.
It's not. I mean, look at this. I actually have the name of the article. I got the article brought up. I mean, look at that headline. QAnon adjacent thriller seducing America.
Wow. That is ridiculous, man.
They even
this is based on a true story, though.
This is a hit. I mean, it's a full-on hit piece they wrote on this film, and they did go see it, but it's crazy. They even try to explain away Indiana Jones having lost in the box office to this film on the other day on Tuesday. And they said, improbable victory of a film by the title over the likes of Indiana Jones at the box office. Then they come back and say this: that's not, strictly speaking, accurate. Indiana Jones has already been out for 5 days. So, I mean, typical like Disney shield, right, trying to cover for Indiana Jones, having I mean, it got beat by nearly $3 million.
Yeah. And I want to be fair about that. The reason why it was showing like 14 million is because there was like gifted like tickets and stuff like that. But if you take that away, it essentially tied Indiana Jones, which is an embarrassment for Indiana Jones because they got all the marketing. I didn't even hear about Sound of Freedom until like a little over a week ago or so. When did you hear about the movie?
I didn't hear about it. I accidentally happened upon the trailer the other day. I mean, just by pure coincidence, I happened upon. Oh, I know what it was. I was watching a trailer for something else. I don't know what it was, and I saw it in the YouTube suggestions or whatever on the right side of the screen. So I was like, well, I'm going to click on this. And it was because it was Jim Caviezel. I was like, I'm gonna click on this, see what this looks like. And I was like, wow, this actually looks pretty good. Next thing I know, it's becoming a thing, you know. And it's just wild. I mean, listen to this. They're still talking about the box office figures. No matter that these figures require selective, almost willfully misleading framing to allow for a David and Goliath narrative to be trumpeted by supporters. I mean, it is just... They can't even let conservatives go to the movies and enjoy a film and support a film without it being attacked. I mean, they literally come down their first rule of QAnon: you don't talk about QAnon where the normals can hear you. I don't know that this has nothing to do with QAnon. Nothing.
You want to know something, man? I'm not even going to call this a conservative film per se. I'm just going to call it a film because one thing about when conservatives actually make films, guess what? There's no political agenda in it. I mean, when you actually watch Terror on the Prairie, was that anything political? No, there was no political agendas. But when leftists do this, they always push a political narrative, and it's blatantly obvious.
Yeah. I also think, look, the moment that we start smelling rumors that a film is not woke, because at this point it's a rarity, once we start hearing that a film is not woke, we automatically want to give that film a shot because it's become so out of the ordinary for there to be a film that doesn't have blatant political agendas being pushed in it.
Right. Top Gun Maverick wasn't a conservative film. It was just a good film. It wasn't pushing any political narratives. And guess what? Dead Reckoning, those reviews are amazing for the movie.
Absolutely. And make no mistake, they're in part going after this film because Jim Caviezel starring in it.
Jim Caviezel is a Christian.
Yeah, and he did some promotional appearances. Like, he went on Steve O'Bannon's show, and of course that pissed him off. He went on Mike Lindell's channel, his streaming channel. And that pissed him off.
Yeah. But also Jim Caviezel came out. He crushed weak Christians for being weak. Also, he slammed modern day Christians. Well, you know, he is a devoted Catholic.
Look, there's a lot of Christians out there that have kind of play out of the both sides of their mouth when it comes to supporting certain kinds of lifestyles. They've just sort of rolled over the support for it, you know.
Right.
And technically speaking, yeah, they probably shouldn't by the way the actual scripture is and how faith is. No, you probably shouldn't actually be supporting that lifestyle. You shouldn't.
Al Sharpton.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You shouldn't condone it. Guys, this film has 100% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, look at that.
Yep, a lot of verified there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all verified, and look at the stars on this.
Yeah, 5 stars.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's
go to the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's 100%. Wow. Yeah,
over 2,500 right there. Now, do this for me, Rhodes. Go to Dial of Destiny. If you go into the search engine, just type in
yeah, I was
Indiana Jones, and it'll pop. There it is, right there.
It might be in the suggestion.
Check this out.
That's still got an 88%. I don't get it. I really don't.
That is the Captain Marvel effect right there. Even if you went to like Rise of Skywalker has a high audience score when everybody trashed that movie.
Well, and we had heard rumors as we was getting close to the Rise of Skywalker. I mean,
86%.
Critics hated it.
Yeah.
You know?
They hated it.
And now they hated it for the reason of they tried to retcon some of Rian Johnson's brave, stunning, and courageous work. But what is this? I mean, I remember us talking about shady audience scores around the Rise of Skywalker when that film came out, and just to get an idea of what I'm talking about as far as the critics go, I mean, this piece of shit film still got a 91%.
Yeah. But remember, Last Jedi came out before Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
When Captain Marvel came out, that's when you would not see these big budget movies have Rotten Tomatoes scores like that. Because Captain Marvel was getting crushed by everybody, and then they changed the way they rated stuff.